Hello, Mewgenics fans, and welcome to episode 4 of Mewgenics Talk. I have had to record this. I think this is number 5. I've lost track at this point, because I've had to restart this recording a lot due to outside madness. And, you know, that's really going to add to the atmosphere of this video, because today I have been awake for a long time. Alright, I am tired. And it's Monday when I'm recording this, so I didn't know what I was gonna do for this video until like an hour ago, and that's already a recipe for disaster. But I came up with a pretty good idea, I think. So you know, I've been awake for a long time. I feel just as awake as ever because of caffeine. That's the main reason. So this one's gonna be a little bit kookier. The guy who commented that I was talking too fast on the first one, they're gonna lose their mind if they see this. Alright, this one's gonna be ridiculous. If you thought that one was fast, oh boy, wait till you hear this. But today's topic is the negative reception this game has gotten. And it kinda, I don't know, the negative reception kinda ticks me off on this game, because a lot of the complaints I think are kind of silly. And, like, ultimately, you know, like, it's a game. If you don't find it fun, that's every right for you. But I think a lot of people are just wanting something to be for them when it isn't. And, like, that's just a sad situation to be in, because, like, you know, I don't blame anyone for, like, leaving these reviews. But, like, you know, a lot of it, I feel like, I kind of just feel bad, because, like, all Steam asks you is, like, do you recommend this game? And it's like, if you didn't like it, fuck no, I don't recommend it. But then also, whenever you say you personally don't recommend it, it takes down the average on the Steam store, and I think it's sad. It's not like it's on, like, mixed or anything, but it's on very positive, and honestly, I think this game deserves overwhelmingly positive. And it's kind of sad to me that a lot of stuff, most of it I consider to be silly stuff, is causing that to be the case. That's sad to me. So, you know, that combined with the fact that I've been up for a while, and there's some guy mowing, it's pissing me off. And these reviews are going to piss me off. I hope you can't hear the mowing on the recording. I checked, and I'm pretty sure you can't, and if you can, it won't be that audible, especially with the music in the background. Speaking of that, I've gotten the go-ahead from at least, like, 2 people on the polls to, you know, go ahead and use non-Mewgenics music in these. And, you know, I don't know what the fuck you're hearing right now, but it's going to be peak, because my entire musical library in my mind is open now, and that's pretty cool. So whatever you're hearing right now, it's probably pretty good, unless I decided to put bullshit in there because it's funny. But, you know, without further ado, I don't think there's much else to say. I'm gonna get into it. I'm not gonna be naming names. I don't see what good that could possibly bring. Literally the only thing I could see coming from that is if this video were to get, like, super popular and then a bunch of people get yelled at on Steam because I covered the review. So I'm just gonna keep these reviews anonymous. Yeah, that's about it. Let's go. Okay, there's an entire, like, genre of reviews on this game that I just don't understand, where it's like, I don't recommend this game. I am choosing to leave a negative review on this game, and then simultaneously they'll have, like, 300 hours. I don't get it. Why? You didn't have to spend this much time. And it's insane to me, because this review was left on July 17th, and the core crux of this review is they don't like that the classes that got nerfed in that update got nerfed, because I'm assuming they, bred their cats to have some combo that got changed. And, yeah, that sucks, but first off, you know, it's been a long time. This is July 17th, you know, that update came out way before this, you know. Are you still facing the consequences of this? It's not hard to, re-spec your cats with the breeding. I don't know, it's just not to me. Maybe I'm just not, like, as careful with it as this person was, and, like, for me, it's what I consider acceptable is, like, lesser than what they would, but I don't know. It's not that hard to, like, change what you're doing. And also, don't they literally have, like, the branch on Steam where you can just go back to the old version if you don't like the changes? Just do that. They literally gave you your solution. And then you're like, I'm gonna play a game and think it's fun for 300 hours, and then I'm gonna leave a bad review because something that is entirely optional for me to experience has ruined my specific cats. I don't, like, no. I don't agree with it. Alright, this one's just funny. Being held at gunpoint by the cartel would be less stressful than this game and most of its mechanics. That is true. I would put that as I would type that exact sentence and put a recommended on it, though. This person didn't think that that was a good thing. I think that's a great thing. Alright, that's what I look for in a game. So, that's just agree to disagree right there. One man's trash is another man's treasure. That's what I gotta say about that. Okay, this one, I don't know what this one is talking about. It's like, at first glance, Mewgenics seems like a genuinely fun and engaging game. The problem is that the more you play, or the more time you spend with it, the more toxic it becomes. Okay, you're talking about this like it's a manipulative sociopath coercing you into an abusive relationship. And that's not what's happening. It's a game called Mewgenics about cats. What? I don't understand. They played for 7.6 hours, and the main problems they have with this game, every day you get random cats. What traits, spells, and stats they come up with is a complete dice roll. It's not really. You have the classes. You're supposed to breed them. And then, like, on any given run, I don't know what this means. They played for 7.6 hours. There's no way, because, like, it's so funny, because the thing that is said here is an actual thing that happens in the game with, like, the hard modes, where, like, here's what it says. On any given run, there's roughly a 10% chance that you'll hit an enemy with such an insane combination of abilities, stats, and passives that even an absolute dream team would barely make it out alive. The enemies are not randomly generated. What is happening here? They're not, like, they're the same every time. And, like, with the elite modifiers, that's the thing, but you didn't get to hard mode in 7.6 hours. It just didn't happen. That's not a thing that occurred. And, like, I don't know. I don't know what they're talking about. Does anyone have any idea what this could mean? Or, like, in 7.5 hours, you could, like, have a supposedly random AI-generated enemy that absolutely solo wipes your entire team of cats. I don't know what they're talking about. I don't get it. And then they're like, the retired cats are useless. No, they aren't. And it's like, once you've completed a house boss encounter, you have to get rid of them because nothing they have can be passed down. Yes, they can. You're just wrong. This is what upsets me about these fucking reviews. Half of them are just wrong. And, like, it's kind of hard for me to blame people because the fucking game is so big and it's so massive that there's really, like, there's so much to be confused about. So it's hard for me to, like, say that this person is dumb. But, like, what told you that the retired cats and, like, the house boss cats couldn't have their stuff passed down? Nothing. Nothing in the game tells you that, because that's not the case. So, of course nothing in the game tells you that, because that's wrong. And it wouldn't tell you that if that wasn't a thing that exists. So I don't know what this person's talking about. If anyone has any idea, I would love to know. Okay, there's two reviews back-to-back here who, like, don't... apparently, I've heard this take a lot. People don't like the house stuff. Why? I loved the house stuff. I thought it was fun. It gave me... I finally understood what people were talking about when they said they like sandbox games with the house stuff. Because I never got the whole sandbox thing. Because I'm always just like, I need an actual goal to work towards. The whole, like, if your whole game is just, oh, you can do whatever you want, or you can make whatever you want. If I wanted to just make whatever I want, I would, like, draw a picture, or like, make a video like I'm doing right now. If I wanted to create something, I'm just gonna actually make something that is tangible and not just a fucking Minecraft base, right? But this game made me understand what people like about it, because once I'd played enough to, like, get an idea of what all the abilities do, being able to, like, slot them in with, like, any combination that I could possibly want made me... I love that. That's, like, actual... Like, that was the creativity aspect of sandbox games in a way that was more enjoyable for me, and it's awesome. Apparently, people hate the house stuff. I don't get what's so... It's not hard. It's not hard to understand. You put 2 cats in a room... And if the stats are high enough, they have a chance to breed and pass down stuff to the kitten. That's it. And, like, the inbreeding... People say the inbreeding is hard to keep track of. No, it isn't. Just put a stray in. Breed the cat that you have that has stuff that you want, and then take a stray on a run, and then, like, breed them together. No more inbreeding. It's done. It's not difficult. Maybe people just have higher standards than I do, but I think those standards are too high if they're higher than mine, because the way I've been breeding has got me through the game perfectly fine, even on, like, impossible difficulty. I don't know. I don't get it. It's not... The house stuff is awesome. What don't you like about it? Like, it's a pain in the ass. What about it is a pain in the ass? And then, like, it's like... Why Edmund refuses to add some basic fucking quality of life features. What quality of life features? I don't know. People complain. This is something that annoys me. People complain and say that they have stopped getting the free 25 coins from Tink because the 5, maybe 5, if I'm being generous, 5-second interaction that shows up whenever you give 10 kittens to Tink is just so jarring and so just upsetting that you can't take it, and you would rather lose out on money and just throw the cat in the trash than listen to it. I can't understand. I'm not even going to talk about this more because I can't understand. And you can try to explain it to me, and I'm going to reply to your comment with a series of question marks because I don't have the ability to understand in my mind this complaint. Okay, this is the best review I've seen in my entire life. Every individual element of this game is done very well. The soundtrack, the art style, the battles, and the other gameplay mechanics are all good. It's tough to say why, but I find it just doesn't click for me, and I don't find it fun. This is what 80% of the games are actually saying, and they just don't realize it. This person just had the wisdom and ability to put it into words what everyone is actually thinking. And this is a great review. Shout out to this one. Okay, okay, let me just read this one. It's good, don't get me wrong, it's a good game. I can't stop playing it, but sometimes it really doesn't respect your time. Ed seems to have a huge fetish for insta-kills. For one, parentheses, don't give me that Germa meat grinder, it's not an insta-kill shtick. They are insta-kills. Okay, no it's not. And, like, in Elden Ring, I am giving you the Germa meat grinder shit. You brought it up, alright? You brought up the Germa meat grinder. I'm gonna run with it. The fucking game, if I remember right, he was playing Elden Ring. In that game, that actually makes sense, because it's a real-time thing, and you can, like, if you get down to, like, 1 health, you're gonna be, like, shocked, and, like, whoa, what happened to me? And just the fucking psychic damage from that alone to your mind is gonna make it harder to react to anything else that's happening. This is a turn-based game. You have time to think. And, like, if you feel like you couldn't have done something, you could have. It just happened. The thing you could have done was just before the thing that you're complaining about happened. And I know that, like, for people who don't play strategy games, I don't even want to say that. I guess just for some people, that's an impossible concept to grasp. And the reason I don't want to say for people who don't play strategy games, I'm one of those. I'm a person that doesn't play strategy games, and I was absolute garbage at this game when it came out. I died to Boris, okay? Boris killed me. Boris fucking manhandled me. I looked at Boris like the one meme with the guy looking up in, like, the blue tint over the screen. I looked at Boris like that as he completely destroyed what I thought I had going. And it's Boris, okay? If you don't play the game, I don't know why you're watching this if you don't play the game, alright? Spoiler alert, Boris, you know, on the easier side of bosses, right? You know, some might consider it to be one of the most pathetic boss encounters of any game that I've ever played. And I died to that, alright? That killed me. That destroyed me. And I was able to look at that and be like, okay, I don't know what I did wrong there, but clearly I did something wrong. Because I don't know why people, like, no one would spend this long on a game that was just a dice rolling simulator. And just because you don't know how to make it not a dice rolling simulator doesn't mean that it is one. Just because you don't know how to wrangle it and make it not an RNG fest doesn't mean that it's an RNG fest. And like, people act like Ed is an evil mastermind, and like, you know, honestly he is, but like, he likes the games that he makes, and no one would like a game that was literally just luck. If Ed would be a gambling addict, okay? Mewgenics wouldn't have existed, Binding of Isaac wouldn't have existed, and because he would have spent all of the Meat Boy money at a casino pulling the slot machine if he truly just enjoyed luck fests. And I don't know, I don't get it. Just the concept of strategy is, I guess, too much for some people, and that's fine. Again, just not a game for you. I don't know. Also, another thing this review says, do I recommend it? Steam doesn't let you give a middling answer. Exactly, right? You know, I agree. They should give you a middling answer, or just like, I don't know. I feel like if there was a middling answer, it would kind of just average out the, like, review scores on pretty much every game. So, like, I don't know how good of an idea that is in, like, actual practice. But conceptually, I do wish there was a way to, like, kind of give a review on Steam. Like, maybe it doesn't count towards the score if you leave a middling review or something. I don't know. If you want to just voice your thoughts, I think that could be a good idea. I don't know, though. I'm not actually going to think about the logistics of that. Okay, this one complains about the UI. I've seen that sentiment so much. What is so bad about the UI? I haven't had a single issue with the UI in this game, and everyone acts like this UI is just the most abstract, horrible thing that has ever been created. What are the UI problems? I don't know what they are. No one says what they are. They just say the UI sucks ass, and it's obvious why. No, it isn't. It's not obvious, because I don't know why. I think the UI is fine. Someone please, God, enlighten me on the fucking UI issues. And then someone just copy-pasted the Isaac trash cow on a trash farm, become back my money copy pasta, but they replaced Isaac with Mewgenic. And, you know, hey, that's pretty cool. I agree. I will become back my money. Someone said the mechanics of breeding cats is a huge time suck. You're a time suck. I assume time sink. How does that happen? It's a completely different word. I don't know if anyone who would watch this would know who Dan Henschel is, but he said in one of his more recent videos that it's actively harder to type wrong nowadays with all of the audio correct. Did I say that right? I don't fucking know. I'm going insane. But with the autocorrect, it's harder to type wrong, and I agree with that. I don't know how this happens. I don't want to be the guy who makes fun with typos. I don't make fun of typos, but whenever you say time suck, I'm sorry, I can't ignore that one. This game is the most amazing thing I've come across. Slight glaze, but I fucking hate Doiboo. Fuck what I just said, never mind. I realized how wrong that was whenever I saw my own reaction to this. I fucking love making fun of typos, I'm sorry. Valid review. Dybbuk sucks. Dybbuk is unbalanced. Alright, there is absolutely no strategy to Dybbuk. It is entirely luck. Alright, there's absolutely nothing you can do. if you don't have an ability that covers the entire map. There's absolutely nothing to be done. There's no skill involved, no strategy, no backing him into a corner or anything, no moving your cats in ways that cause him to be backed into a corner. Absolutely nothing like that. No downing your own cat to make sure it possesses a specific one in order to make the possession phase not as hard. Nothing like that exists in the game. It's just complete RNG. Thanks, Ed. Like looking at the Mona Lisa, but Da Vinci is farting in your face and censored word. I don't, is that looks like too, that looks like too many hearts for the word shitting. I don't know what this could be, but he's doing something all over the canvas and telling you you're liking it wrong. I mean, I don't agree, but I do agree at the same time. That's awesome. Someone just said sorry, but it's not Isaac. And you know what? Exactly. See, if you expected another Isaac in terms of, like, core gameplay, that's not what this is. That person got it. Okay, I might do, I don't know. I might go in depth on this at some point, but there was a really stupid video I saw. I think I referenced it in the episode 0. There was a stupid video I saw that complained about, like, the save scumming thing on Steven. And, like, this review is basically that. And they basically say, this is actually something I agree with. I would love the option to not save scum. Because, like, genuinely, sometimes I haven't been in a situation where I, like, need to get up from the computer that second and can't finish the battle. I guarantee, like, obviously, an emergency happens, right? You need to be able, I wish there was a way to just genuinely leave in the middle of combat and have it save, and then come back. That's an actually good point. Because, like, the punishment for save scumming, sure, but just make it save the battle state, and then let you come back to it. I think that's a good thing. Put that in the game. Okay, another thing. People call this game RNG, and then compare it to Isaac. As if Isaac is not, like, 80% luck anyway. Because people are like, oh, you can beat Isaac without any items. Okay, you can also run as fast and as far as Usain Bolt. That is something that humans can do. But there's a reason that there's only one Usain Bolt in the world, right? No, you can't. Practically speaking, you can't beat Isaac with no items and no nothing. It's just not going to happen. And, like, if it does happen, that's another thing. People say that as, like, a gotcha whenever you say Isaac isn't luck-based. If you manage to beat Isaac with no items, you got lucky. And it's just a different type of luck. It's not the getting good items kind of lucky. It's the managing to channel a, like, ancient warrior spirit into your soul and have it play the game for you type of luck. Alright? Isaac is extremely luck-based. I have a friend who just fucking hates Isaac because he always gets, and, like, I've seen it. It's uncanny. Just the absolute garbage tier of runs he always gets. I don't think he's had a single good run in his life, and I've watched him play it, and it's true. It's just abominably awful, and that genuinely made him dislike the game, and I don't blame him, because the entire appeal of Isaac is having the funny items, and if you just don't get the funny items, which is entirely luck, pretty much, you just don't get that. I don't know why. Isaac is not, I will say, not as luck-based as Mewgenics, alright? Mewgenics is more luck. Vastly. More luck. Isaac is still luck-based. Alright, if you get unlucky, Isaac can still just absolutely destroy you at no fault of your own. And honestly, I think Mewgenics has more ways to deal with the luck. Because oftentimes with Mewgenics, it's not like a lack of firepower that's stopping you. It's not like you're not doing enough damage stats-wise. It's that, like, you don't have a build that can deal with what you're facing. And, like, that can be technically solved with some sort of abstract strategizing. With Isaac, sometimes it's literally just, I can't deal enough damage to beat this boss fast enough, to not have to dodge it for an extended period of time. Yeah. Be warned that this game is extremely difficult to play. At first you think this might be a fun little game with Cat Frankenstein hijinks, which it kinda is, but in reality, you have to read what your enemies do and have a solid strategy with a good team makeup. So, you have to strategize in the strategy game. People see cats and assume that it's for toddlers. I don't know why. Like, just because cats are cute, people assume that anything that has cats in it is meant to be, like, for the absolute lowest tier of brain power possible, for absolutely no reason. There is nothing about this game that radiates, like, fun, casual, no strategy thing. It very much touts itself as being a deep, like, strategical game. And, I don't know, just because it has cats in it, people are like, surely it can't actually be a strategy game. Duh. It's too damn gray. Honestly, there is a lot of gray. I think the game looks good, but there is a lot of gray. But, like, I don't know. I don't really think that's a bad thing. I think it adds to the look. It's like when people say Has-Been Hotel has too much red. You have, like, so much stuff that is actually objectively terrible to complain about, and then you pick the one thing that doesn't actually matter to get angry at. One just says, fuck you with 217 hours. Agree. Fair. I like tactical RPGs. I don't like games that use grief mechanics as their primary mode of doing everything. What is a grief mechanic? Is it a mechanic that makes you sad? Alright? I don't know what that means. I'm sure that's an actual term. I'm not sure it's an actual term. I give no benefit of the doubt to these Steam reviews. But, you know, I assume, I will decide to give the benefit of the doubt. I assume grief mechanic is an actual term used in video games or other types of games. But, you know what, I don't like grief reviews, alright? This is a review that makes me feel sad. I'm crying right now. Stupid game ever. Based. There's a lot of people complaining about, like, a lot of Chinese people complaining about no, localization. I mean, I don't know what to say about that, because that's, like, a fair complaint, but it's also not really about the game, like, gameplay-wise, so, yeah, do that. Localize it. I don't know the status of that at all, but because I'm not Chinese, it doesn't matter to me. But for the people it does matter to, I hope that gets sorted out as soon as possible. This game is a lot of fun, but I find it incredibly unbalanced. There's only a few different biomes / chapters. You played it for 14 hours. You know what, I'm gonna quit reading your review right here, and then I'm gonna review your review and say that there's only a few words in it, because I just chose not to look at the rest. Everything about the game is cool, besides for the random difficulty spikes. I beat up to the junkyard, and then it's like the game buffed itself. You literally unlock the fucking junkyard from beating the fucking hard path. The thing you unlock from beating the hard path, you should know that that's going to be harder, because why would you beat the hard path? So naturally that would lead to something easy, that would lead to something difficult, that would lead to something that would not at all be connected to the hard path in any way, the fact that you unlock it from the hard path. That makes sense. Oh. My god. This one is... I feel so bad for this person. 117 hours on record, and they've listed everybody in the credits for designing the game, and then left a fucking villain monologue in the fucking bottom. What happened? What possible combination of events happened to make this happen? Because I refuse to believe this was a general review of the game. Something specific happened. They were enjoying it for 117.1 hours, and then something happened in the transition from 0.1 to 0.2 hours that just completely ruined this person's life. I want to know the fucking lore to this. You're only the type of person allowed to have an opinion on your parasocial Stockholm Syndrome-esque boyfriend's latest pile of languid, putrid, infested shit that you willingly called dinner. What happened? This is a Greek tragedy, okay? Don't go watch Odysseus. Read this review. You'll get a more harrowing experience. I don't know what happens in Odysseus. I'm not cultured. I just play cat game. But, you know, I guarantee it's less engaging than this. I think the creator of this game has serious psychological issues. I don't know what kind of psychopath could make a game like this. Yeah, true. Real. Someone just put, I'm tired, boss. That one's also fair. That one's true. Someone just put question mark. That's fair. I'm both having a better and worse time than I thought I would with this. This is really fun. I don't know how long this one's gonna be. This one might be a long episode, just because I'm having a grand old time. Fun until Dax, a boss that goes after you every time, gains and avoid and repositions himself every time. It is possible to be unable to beat him with your team. Dak is the most balanced of the fucking desert mini-bosses, alright? I don't care. Okay, Morana is fucking... When you first fight Morana, it's the most impossible thing you've ever seen in your life, and then you learn how to do it, and it's the easiest thing you've ever done in your life. Okay, Gain is easy, okay? Marshmallow is worse than Hitler, and Hitler's also in this game, and that's, like, legitimately worse than Hitler. You can say that, and it's not, like, an edgy joke. That's just legitimately true. Dak, you're complaining about Dak. That's tragic. Someone just put the rage bait. That's fine. Okay, this is one. 350 hours. Worst game I've ever played. Please refund it if you can. I feel like this is a joke, but I can't tell, because I've seen, like, so many reviews that literally just are this, but it's not a joke. I can't know. This one's basically just saying it's luck-based, but they said absolute hogwash, which is awesome. People should say that more. It is absolute hogwash. Coming from someone who loves boy, me too, pal. Okay, it's quirky in a charming way in a great tactics game at first, but then the roguelike cons start to show up. Once you beat Act 1, there's a difficulty spike. Even replaying the Act 1 levels is significantly... Where? What happened? Where is it's the same. Nothing changes. And if it does change, it's so minor that I haven't noticed it in my entire time playing this game. What changes? I don't know. I regret buying this game. It was so hard. I can't beat the rat. I killed it on 1 HP, but the sandstorm killed me, and it's laggy, and it makes you rage. Do not buy unless you like having your cat starve. The fact that I would assume this is a joke, the fact that they included the specific scenario of killing the rat, or, like, getting it to, like, 1 HP, and then the sandstorm killed you at 1 HP, the fact that that specific anecdote is in there makes me believe it. And the fact that it's only 2.6 hours, I think this genuinely happened. You know, I died to Boris, alright? I can't really talk that much. I didn't die to the radical rat, alright? I radicaled all over that rat. The radical rat was not hard. I have a severe phobia of certain insects to the point where I can't even look at them. This person got to the game. I just feel bad for this. This one's a downer. This one's just sad. I just feel bad. That's like, I don't know what to say. That one's just putting me in a bad mood. I'm not gonna, that one's just sad. I feel bad for this person. I'm not gonna talk about it. It's a fucking downer review. It's quite a bit grindy, monotonous, and just overall slow. On top of that, the game relies heavily on shocking and crude humor. Does it? I didn't get that. I guess, I don't know. Maybe what's shocking to me isn't, like, I don't know, isn't shocking to other people. I didn't find anything, like, particularly insane about this game until Hitler. Okay, and this person played for 1.7 hours. Okay, they did not get to Hitler, alright? Once you get to Hitler, I completely get the stance of, like, alright, pal, that's a bit much. But I don't know. I don't know what could have happened in this time, in 1.7 hours, to make you say that. Just another like logic game, so it's stupid. I know, I didn't want to say the name of the reviewers on this, but I'm making an exception for this one because this one was left by Benjamin Netanyahu. So that's fun. Man in the Moon's hands not blacklisted from depressing elite buff. Depressing elite buff should just be blacklisted from the game, bro. So one time I got a boss that had two depressing. And I didn't even know that there could be duplicate elite modifiers at the time. But I just got a boss with 2 depressing modifiers on it at once. It's fucking insanity. No ultra wide. Took matters into my own hands. I don't know why that's so funny to me. This person's complaining about the save scumming thing, but they say it's some real anti-neurodivergent garbage. What's anti-neurodivergent about that? I don't get it. Does Steven say something? I don't know. He's pretty mean. Did he say something that's mean to neurodivergent people in his introduction? I don't know. Maybe. It's a decent game, but I was expecting more than just Into the Breach with cats. It is more than Into the Breach with cats. If this is a... Take Mewgenics and you have like Mount Everest, and then Into the Breach is a fucking little pebble next to it. Okay, Into the Breach. Into the Breach is awful. Okay, I hate Into the Breach because your fucking units can't do anything fun. They just do what they do, and then that's it. And you just have to use that. And I don't want to use it. It's all boring. I don't know. I didn't play enough Into the Breach to really say anything more than I thought it was boring on it. But I did. I love Mewgenics, but I unfortunately cannot in good faith leave a positive review. Dr. Beanie's fat, giant, juicy ass constantly gets in the way while playing. I can't stay focused long enough to finish a run before I finish to Dr. Beanie's. Dear Edmund, please, I implore you to redesign Dr. Beanie's before my dick falls off. Took the words right out of my mouth. 10 out of 10. Fuck Throbbing King. He's a 5 hearts. I assume that says bitch, ass, and then another 5 hearts. Now, that first 5 hearts, I'm pretty confident in saying out loud. These second 5 hearts are a gamble, alright? These second 5 hearts could be some different things, but I'm personally thinking that the first of those 5 hearts is probably an N, and the last is an A. So we're just gonna leave this one here. Do not Alt F4. You'll be shamed, insulted, and threatened. What how is being, you are insulted, this is true. You are shamed, you are insulted, and you are threatened. I can understand being put in a bad mood from the shaming and insults. That's understandable. How does being threatened by a fictional character matter? Like, it's not... I don't understand how... Why? It's not real. The whole reason threatening is bad is because it implies something is going to happen to you in real life. If I say, hey... if I threaten someone, the reason that's bad is because they now think that I'm going to do something that could hurt them, and I have the ability to do that. If it's a game character doing it, there's no, actual threat happening, because there's nothing that can happen that's, bad for you. Too random, too slow, and just full of Reddit humor. Where is the Reddit humor? I fucking hate Reddit humor, and if it was full of Reddit humor, I would not have played the game. Where is it? This one just says doesn't work. Just in general. That's awesome. Alright, this one's really funny. Okay, it's Mew:3, and then a little, ASCII cutesy face art. And then after, and then edited after. So, that was really funny to me. Okay, this one is, it feels long for the sake of being long. I fucking hate that argument, because you can take literally any adjective that you don't like about anything, and then say that it's blank for the sake of being blank, and it means just as much no matter what you say. That means nothing. When you say something is blank for the sake of being blank, yes it is, because it's a piece of creative work that exists just to exist. That's what art is. And I'm not, people say like, the debate of like, are video games art? I don't think so. I think video games have art in them, and, you know, a large portion of them is art, but what makes them a game is not art. What separates games from regular art is the fact that it's not regular art. But literally what the concept of creativity is just making something for the sake of making it. And if you take that as a flaw with literally anything, this one's just calling it unfair, but they end with "Go Dookie your pants, Edmund McMillan." Gay flags are in the game and you can't remove them. You can call the gay gene. But why add gay flags in the first place? I think this is really funny because they list being able to call the gay gene as like, at least, right? At the very least. Awesome. Okay, this one's like fucking 8 goddamn years long, and it starts with, "I, for one, am a big fan of games that do not hold your hand. I play Rain World." End it there. How do you play fucking Rain World and then Mewgenics is too much for you? Okay, I have played Rain World. There is nothing fun about that for me. There is no enjoyment to be had in that game. Because whenever people say what they like about Rain World, they always talk about how cool it is that it stimulates an ecosystem. Yes, that is cool. And I'm all for, like, watching it and not engaging with it. Whenever I ask what people like about it, it's never about the actual game with Rain World. I don't get it. If you play fucking Rain World and you, like, they say they play it. They don't say they like, you know, they specifically say they play it. I'm assuming no LARP is happening here. They actually play Rain World and then Mewgenics is too much. I don't understand. Hitler is in the game, and that is bad because he is like the Bowser of the Nazi party, and Nazis are very evil. It's like the Bowser of Nazi party. I want to see Mario versus Hitler now. That's awesome. You know, one thing that's making me happy is that I haven't seen, like, pretty much, like, anyone who mentions the music is like, that's awesome. That everyone likes the music. That's pretty cool. I like how... I saw some negative reviews for Risk of Rain, and, like, there were some that called the music bad on that. And if you know Risk of Rain, you know the music isn't bad. There's literally no one saying here that the music is bad. And, like, everyone agrees that the music's awesome. I think that's great. Mewgenics is a deliberately designed ditty. What? I don't even know what that means. Okay, why are people... the UI sucks. And it's easy to click something you didn't intend to. I understand not being able to aim in, like, Counter-Strike, or Marvel Rivals, or Overwatch, or any shooter game. Not being able to aim in a game where you're just using your mouse cursor like any other thing that uses your mouse cursor. And you don't have to do it in a specific amount of time unless you have a very specific disorder in the game. And even then, I'm pretty sure you can just pause if you really need to. Not being able to aim in that scenario, I am so sorry. Skill issue. This one is just, it made me watch cat sex. Like, you know, this goes back to what I said earlier with, like, maybe I'm just not, like, maybe my threshold for what's shocking is just higher than most people, because this person was clearly just scarred from that, so, you know what, fair. Good throw your time in life. That's awesome. Holy shit. I found it. I found someone saying the music was bad, and guess what? They also say that Tink being gay is also bad. So that's the kind of person who doesn't like the music. Yeah. Like, put that in your pipe and smoke it, pal. This one just says they are so inbred. My god, this guy must have some specimens on their account. This have some, like, actual fucking creatures. Okay, I've been going for an hour and 13 minutes now. I'm gonna stop here. I could keep going. I might keep going in a sequel, because eventually we're gonna get to the point where I have to start doing bullshit, and this is already kind of bullshit. Eventually, like, you know, I mentioned last time how not as many people watched the music video, and I thought that was, like, due to the fact that it's not really about the game. If that is why, if you're hearing this and that's why you weren't as interested in that, I implore you to go watch it, because for one, I think it's a good video, and two, I hate to break it to you, eventually all of these are going to be like that. We're going to run out of, like, actual gameplay things to talk about if I keep going for, like, 40 minutes at minimum an episode, and I'm going to keep doing that. I don't see the point if it's not at least half an hour, right? That's not 40 minutes. Half an hour is 30 minutes, but you know what I mean. Eventually, they're all going to be like that, and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to warn you, eventually Mewgenics Smash or Pass is going to happen on this channel, and the second that happens, I want you to come back here, and I want you to, like, comment, like, I want you to comment, like, 9/11 has just happened, and then be like, Sir, Mr. President, the Smash or Pass video has hit Mewgenics Talk. That's what I want you to say, and it's going to happen at some point, and it might be soon. I gotta, once this class analysis or discussion series wraps up, I don't know what I'm gonna do, alright? I have no idea. We'll see. But yeah, that's really all I have to say. No hate towards anyone here. I mean, obviously, there's some, like, genuinely, like, the thing about, like, the language translations, I didn't really talk about it. I guess I'll address it here. Two things at the very end that I didn't really want to talk about in the meat of the video, just because, like, I don't know, it's not fun to talk about because it is kind of just, like, controversy. I saw, like, apparently Edmund did a poll where, like, Ukrainian won for the languages, and then he put Russian in instead. And, like, you know, on one hand, there is just, like, not listening to the community, and, like, that's one thing, but the fact that it was specifically Ukrainian versus Russian is kind of diabolical. Like, the fact that it was that specific combination, it's like, that's kind of crazy. Like, that is wild. So yeah, I agree with that. Don't, like, come on. If you're going to, just don't put the poll out. If you're not gonna go buy it, you don't have to do a poll. And apparently I heard the poll was done in 2024. I don't actually know the lore to this. If that's the case, I kinda get wanting to go back on it. But, like, at the same time, if you're not planning on 100% listening to it, just don't do the poll. Or specify you're not going to listen to it 100%. Like, that's a simple solution. But, you know, that's about it. I'm done. I gotta go. I gotta leave. It's been an hour and 16 minutes. I have to go. I have to run. Goodbye.